Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. It is the first fashion news of January. Actually, I was supposed to say it is the first fashion news of 2025. So let's get into it. Alan Pruitt. I don't know who that is. I just made that up because it rhymed. Okay, let's get into the first one of, yeah, our installment. And I think I've said that 32 times already. Mulberry. The trending topic right now and for the last couple of months has been how prices, and I would say like half this year, I would say, because I think I saw a video this summer by Lana and someone else who has talked about the prices. I want to say Cassie Thorpe, who has talked about the prices for YSL dropping. Prada, I think, made some adjustments sometime in 2024. But also now Mulberry has joined the list of luxury houses that is admitting that the prices that they have, they're going to need to make some adjustments because Mulberry has kind of fallen off of the wayside of getting people to come buy items. I have long wanted a Mulberry piece, and the first one I was introduced to was a Bayswater. I've wanted one for a very long time. I've never actually decided to purchase an item, but I do have a Layton on my list. So that possibly maybe an unboxing you will see at some point in the future. It is a UK established fashion house. They have a few stores here in the United States. And what they have talked about is, and Andrea Baldo, I believe, is, I don't know his title is CEO or something of that nature. And so what they have said is they are looking to right size the business because it has been struggling financially, not hitting sales marks, things like that. When you hear right size in business, I don't like that term because a lot of times that's kind of corporate speak for people are going to lose their jobs. That when I hear that, that's what I hear. But let me just break down a few of the things in an interview that this person has said. And as always, links to articles will be in the description box. Make sure you hit that expand, the little dot dot dot, and check out the information that's down there with the articles that I'm referencing because all of this is just my opinion. I am repeating the information and my interpretation of what I'm reading. And so you need to look at this for yourself because this is not me saying this is what this person said or this is what this company said for the reference. But basically, they are looking to tackle four things, and that is streamlining operations, improving margins, which makes me nervous when we're talking about this fashion house as far as luxury pieces go, because there's been continued discussions about how, and not just Mulberry, all brands are doing this, where you notice you're getting a little bit less for a lot more money or a lot less for a lot more money in some cases. The other thing is reducing working capital, which I find interesting, and strengthening their cash position. So maybe the working capital will go into the cash position so that way they have more reserve funds. Don't know. Some business folks out there, let me know what you let me know your interpretation of that. Also, they mentioned that including those kind of four main pillars that they're looking at to adjusting the business is also including, this includes evaluating their store portfolio. They are going to be altering their what does this say? Sorry, I did shorthand. Altering altering prices, also looking at distribution as well as partnering with wholesales. And what I did see is that they talked about strategic wholesale outlets versus throwing it out there to the masses to figure out what sticks. Well, I do like that they're kind of being more, they're saying they're going to be more strategic about who they wholesale with. Like currently in the United States, I believe there's a Mulberry store, a boutique in New York City. I want to say there's maybe two. I haven't really looked into where else there are. They're not in Georgia, I know that. But you can buy from Nordstrom online. They did mention that places like Flannels, Nordstrom are current outlets where you can purchase items. They did say that they are not closing any of their 120 stores. That is good news for those people that work at those stores. Because remember, I did also mention right size, which That's never a good word when we're talking about for business. When the corporate heads say right size, that's never good news. In addition to that, they did, like I did say, there will be some adjustments to positions. So, like I said, they did talk about the stores. They're not going to cut from there. However, according to this article, they are going to make job cuts in the head office. So, unfortunately, people will be losing their positions in the capacity that they currently have them. I don't remember the exact number, but I know they said that 85 of these positions that they're cutting will be placed into consultant roles. Maybe not terrible news, but there is going to be an adjustment. I don't know how that works overseas, but a lot of times when you do have a person who works as a consultant or kind of like a contractor, basically they're not an employee of the company, they're contracting with the company and they're used as needed. So it could mean that you have a 2-year contract and that 2-year contract can end in 6 months, or that 2-year contract can extend for 5 years. Run the gamut, but usually you may have higher pay for that, but then you also have to pay for your own health insurance and all of those other things. Anyway, all that to say, there are going to be some adjustment to 85 people, 85 positions. Next up is there will not be any job cuts at the factory in Somerset. I do believe that Mulberry has other factories. While I thought that was interesting that this article specifically mentioned one of the factories in the location. So that makes me think, at reading between the lines, there will be some cuts or some adjustments in factories that are not in Somerset. Y'all let me know your thoughts on that with that wording, as well as when you read the article. But they did say none to any of the stores, like I mentioned. After they did an analysis, most of the handbags at Mulberry, they said, sell for under 10.95 euros. I don't know what that equals. I'm just going to guesstimate because currencies change from day to day. So guesstimating that's probably around 1,300 ish dollars for USD. And so they said that since most bags sell for under that, that is where they're looking at is kind of their cap. And which is good news because I think the Bayswaters are a little bit more than that, or some of the other styles that they have. So it makes me think, I don't know, on one hand, I would like to see what compare the new pricing and the new production, the items that will be produced under this new price to the old prices, the older versions of Mulberry, to see where we're seeing differences. Because remember, they did say that they wanted to improve margins. And if you want to improve margins, usually that means you're cutting materials, you're cutting hours and time to craft a product. Like maybe it's going to, if it currently takes you 13 workman hours to produce one bag, you want to reduce that by 3 hours, and maybe it takes you 10 hours. That means that you can get more items produced quicker, which means that you make more money. And then also that's less man hours that you have. So we'll have to see what happens there. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that between the quality aspect. Like I said, it does make me a little nervous because I don't know what that's going to mean. Also, one thing that this article pointed out, which I thought is very interesting, is the fact that the Bayswater, which is kind of the claim to fame piece for the house, is that the Bayswater price has not changed since 2019, where 2019 all the way up until now, we've seen a lot of brands that have pushed the limits on pricing, and to see that their most iconic style did not change within the last 5 or 6 years is very interesting. And I think it's a different change. But also, that means that there also have been some troubles where Mulberry has not been pulling the people that they need to pull in. And so they're looking to do changes there. So we'll have to see what happens with Mulberry in the future. Let me know your thoughts. Have you ever been interested in Mulberry? And do you have a Mulberry piece? Let me know in the comments down below. If you are new here, thank you so much for giving my channel a try. This channel is called Bags and Lifestyle because I focus on everything from fashion related topics all the way down to lifestyle topics. That's why we have the name. And every month I do fashion news instead of what's trending in fashion as far as trends, as far as this color is going to be in, this style is going to be in. I'm more so focused on the other parts of fashion, the business things that are happening, what is trending, what are people talking about, those type of topics. If you want to hear fashion related information but not talk about kind of those other things, make sure you subscribe and come back. Next up, and hit this like button. Go ahead and do that right now. Okay. www. And it'll be link reference down below. But this article was talking about if you had a $250 budget, what would I recommend my friend to buy that's elegant and also fits within the budget? I find these articles interesting. Obviously, the subtle message there is they usually focus on a few brands or one specific brand. And they really just want you to hit that link so you can buy that item. It's an affiliate link type of thing. It's pushing a message for that brand. So I do find these interesting from time to time. And I do find that a lot of times some I won't say a lot of times, I do find that some people, even myself, you'll get drawn into something. A lot of times they're going to talk about things that are of a trend. And this is no different. And I really just wanted to pull out a few things in this just to mention a reminder to you to not get trapped in the strategic messaging that they're trying to get you to do, which is buy this item. Really, one of the things that I noticed, like I said, they were talking about chocolate brown. That is on trend as far as a color goes. And a lot of times people will find themselves going through a suggestion because that article said it. When I, like I said, the subtle messaging is we really just want you to buy this thing and we're going to push the trend to you. Trendy is not the issue. I find that Zara is really good, and a lot of brands are good for this. But this article focused on Zara, so that's why I'm talking about Zara. I have pieces from Zara. I like Zara. Zara does a really good job of having the trends, having elevated pieces that look really good, staple pieces that you can use. What you don't want to get caught up in with this is focusing on what they recommend and just thinking about that and seeing them as the experts and not really taking a step back to evaluate your personal style and your needs for your wardrobe. And trendy is not the issue here. While a lot of the things that they mention are trendy, what you really want to do is factor in what are your needs for your wardrobe before you start buying things. And then also what are your needs, and then also your budget, and then what is your personal style. While an oversized coat, like they talked about, like this chocolate brown oversized coat is very trendy, very just on message right now, does that really work for your wardrobe? It doesn't matter what that price is, but if you're not at a state where you can spend small amounts of money that do end up to be large amounts of money on pieces that are trendy that you're not going to wear next season, is just because you keep seeing it, maybe you should take a step back and evaluate whether you really should be buying that item, even though it feels like it's an affordable price. Like I said, it does start with personal style. Some of the things that they mentioned on here, which you'll see some photos up, which like I said, I find to be extremely trendy. And nothing's wrong with that. But at the same time, if this is not a style you would wear, like I thought there was like a top, like the cardigans. Cardigans are really popular right now. And it's really the cropped ones that you saw in the 90s. But if you think about it, are you going to wear this cropped jacket any other way? Are you going to wear it as a set? A lot of times you see it as a set, it's an easy selling point. But would you wear this otherwise? Would you wear it as a separate? If crop tops were not a trend right now, is this something that you feel like you can incorporate into your wardrobe well after people are stop talking about crop top and skirt sets, or very kind of mid-rise wide leg jeans? Those are things that you do want to evaluate, and whether that is really your personal style, because otherwise you end up wasting money and on this continuous endless cycle of buying, and you never feel like you're making it to the point where you have an established wardrobe. The other thing is visualizing how pieces work within your wardrobe. That is something that jumped out at me with this article too, which is when I was looking at the pieces, I found myself thinking, oh, that's really cute. But then I thought, am I going to wear this next year? I'm definitely not going to wear it the way that they say, or even if it's changed, am I going to wear it in a different way? How can I wear this differently? For example, I did a video where I talked about styling my pleather shorts that I had purchased a couple, maybe like a year ago, 2 years ago by the time you're seeing this video. And I wore those bad boys to the mall, knowing the fact that I don't like wearing shorts. The shorts work for me when I'm going to a restaurant. Quickly jump in my car, go in the restaurant, and come back out. That is when shorts work for me. Otherwise, I can't stand shorts. So what I have decided is I don't really need shorts. I would like a pleather skirt. And right now, pleated pleather skirts or pleated skirts, period. Like you have seen the images that I've shown from that have been featured in this article. But when I think back, even though pleated skirts are trending, in order for me not to waste money, I'm not going to buy a pleated skirt because that is not what I'm going to wear next year when pleated skirts are not the thing. I actually would rather a A-line skirt that's short and flat. That is what I'm on the hunt for. So it's those type of things where you can take some inspiration, but don't fall into the rabbit hole of getting pushed things because people are trying to make a sale, which is ultimately the goal of this article. Just really wanted to kind of think about, challenge you when you see these type of things and do an anti-influence, anti-haul type of topic there. Hopefully that was helpful. And let me know what kind of tactics you guys use to kind of keep yourself from falling down a rabbit hole of wasting money or buying things or buying into trends and then it's not really your style. Next up is going to be an update. I did talk about this in a previous fashion news, and that is the deals with Saks Fifth Avenue. Saks Fifth Avenue parent company is HSBC. I have to look at my notes here. HSBC, and they are purchasing Neiman Marcus. Now, did you know, for my US people, that Neiman Marcus and Bergdorf Goodman were under the same umbrella? I did not know that. I thought Bergdorf was separate, but after reading this article, I saw, oh, now that the deals are final, which the parent company of Saks is going to be purchasing Neiman Marcus for $2.65 billion, also means that Saks, Neiman Marcus, and Bergdorf Goodman are all going to be under the same umbrella. So now the deals are closed. It's going to be interesting to see how that changes the landscape because I know in a previous fashion news, I also had mentioned that maybe it wasn't a fashion news, but I know in a previous video in 2024, I talked about how Neiman Marcus CEO had mentioned how they were going to be focusing on a specific customer. And they found that there was a certain percentage of their customers they can't get my words out. It was a small number percentage of customers that spent the most money, like 70% or 40% of their sales. And they said they were going to focus on those people. What I did see in this article is that they are going to focus more on emerging brands. What I find interesting with that is with emerging brands, that is going to be great because you're going to get more variety. But then at the same time, if you're a person like me where you like these nice items, but it's not like you can be buying them left and right, and it's really good when you can find them on a sale. So if I find something at one place, it's full price, I'm usually searching other places to see how I can get it at a discount. You're not going to find that opportunity with emerging brands because they're not as far widespread out there. But I think it's good for them to focus on emerging brands. But as me thinking about me as a consumer, which they're not targeting me anyway, but I'm just thinking about, I wonder how this is going to impact the offerings and things that they're going to have available either online or in their stores because of what the CEO previously had mentioned. Now, of course, since they're getting bought by Saks Fifth Avenue, we'll have to see how that changes because obviously that same CEO I'm anticipating won't be the same one that's in place when this deal is completed and workforces have been joined together. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave your comments down below and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.